name is Kaylee, and today we are here to celebrate the loving life of Monica Ann DeMeo. Monica will be remembered by the many friends and families who have all so graciously gathered here today. Everyone that knew Monica would all agree that she had one of the biggest hearts in the whole world, and she'll never be forgotten about. Monica was born in 1955 in North Dakota to loving parents John and Catherine DeMeo. 3 years later, in 1958, the family moved to Olympia, Washington. Monica was the first of 3 children, along with her sister Margaret Colasurdo and her brother John DeMeo II. Her entire life, Monica was surrounded by a loving family, and now those loving family members will continue to keep her memory alive. Family members including her mother Catherine DeMeo, her brother John DeMeo II, and her sister Margaret Colasurdo, and all the many nieces and nephews of hers, including Christy, Michelle, and James Colasurdo, and Justine, Sam, and Annie DeMeo. Monica always showed her love for others through her extreme kindness and generosity. Anytime you needed to talk, she was there to listen. Anytime you were struggling with something, she was there to help. Anytime you just needed a shoulder to cry on, she was always the person there for you. All things that will never be forgotten. All Monica wanted to ever do was help people, and she would sacrifice everything she had for the sake of someone else. Specifically, Monica loved to help animals. Monica would foster and rescue any type of animal in need. She would take home any injured or abandoned animals to replenish them to health before either releasing or rehoming them. Monica also loved to help the homeless. Every weekend, she would make home-cooked dinners for homeless people and drive around Olympia, delivering warm plates of food to anyone who needed it. Monica would give you her all, no matter who you were. Monica would always say that we need to be more compassionate to others. And she would say, love others like you yourself want to be loved. A quote that will always remind us of how kind she used to be. Now I could go on for hours and hours about all the kind and generous things Monica did in her life. But I know that Monica would not be happy if we failed to mention anything about what a comic she was. Monica loved to make people laugh because it was a way to make people happy. She used to, back in her day, work as a co-host on a radio talk show. And every day she'd get calls in from viewers saying that they loved her humor and she was the funniest person they had ever heard. My favorite joke of hers was around 8-ish years ago during Thanksgiving. Monica was a vegetarian and always tried to convince us not to eat turkey, but to no avail. So to step up her convincing game, she decided to bring a live turkey she had just rescued to Thanksgiving dinner. I cannot explain the look on everyone's face at the table as she walked in the door with a live turkey. Everyone at the table broke out in laughter, and it's safe to say we never forgot that Thanksgiving. With that, I want to thank you all for being here today to remember and rekindle some of the best memories of the kindest woman ever, Monica Ann DeMeo, as she and her love for others will never be forgotten. Thank you.